So Boom Beach just had their first Reddit AMI, which stands for Ask Me Anything the Other Day, or today. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going an overview about the AMI, some important notes that the Boom Beach team made out, because there's a ton of words, ton of things they answered, and it's just going to take you forever to go through them all, so I'm just going to paraphrase the entire thing for you guys. So let's get started. Okay, so Strikes asked, how many resources do you have in circulation in the game at this point? Gold, wood, iron, stone. So Router SC, so there is mainly two people that replied to everyone. This is one of them. He said, we don't have the data about circulation, so you guys don't have to keep asking about that. We could get it, but we usually query the data that would help us balance the game. So they're never going to release that, probably, just because it may, I don't know if it would lead to some unbalancing where people would purposely drop victory points, because you know it's hard to drop victory points, but I'm not sure if it's people could purposely drop victory points still, but it's hard, so they might drop victory points to where the gold, all the resources are, and then they would stay at that point to farm. So that's probably why they're not going to release that. Also, we do have the country and level stats, but that's not something we can't share. I don't know why he said that. If you guys know, I'd like to hear what you guys think down below. Okay, so this picture on the screen is something that's probably not going to be in the next update, but in the next, 2 updates. And it's basically it basically gives you could view when you're in a task force, you have all these members on your task force. You could see who hasn't attacked yet in the current operation, because as you guys know, it's a pain to go through every single person to see who didn't attack yet. So this would be awesome. So color shows members task force attack status. Green means he has attacked, orange means he can't attack, gray means he has not attacked yet. So orange, that means he can't attack, that means he just joined the task force and he can't attack. Popover shows the attack history for each player, so maybe basically what it says, the total amount of task force attacks done, the total amount of task force attacks missed, the amount of task force attacks done in the past 24 days. So basically if they're active lately and stuff like that. On the right side, that's all stuff that they already added, except one thing. It's the highest ranking position, so it's 15 of it is health. So that would be pretty awesome, because you could reach first place, but it doesn't mean a lot unless you could hold it for a super long time. So that's why that would be pretty awesome if they added that. Okay, so this next idea, or someone asked, is pretty dang big. Any chance we're gonna have a layout editor so we can switch between setups? Against Hammer, for example. And BB Bushy, he's the other one that said something. He's like, there's going to be a base editor, not so much an editor, but rather slots for different layouts. So that's exactly what I wanted in my top 10 update ideas, with pictures. That's exactly what I wrote out. That's pretty awesome. Base layout editor isn't gonna be too big of an issue, but I think that this saved bases is definitely something. As for paratroopers, we're not doing paratroopers, so you guys could just cross that off your list and never gonna add paratroopers. It just overpowered the game balance. Okay, so this next I asked, is it gonna be a layout editor in Clash of Clans, kind of similar to the last one, but a bit different for Boom Beach mechanism. So Bushy replied and said, it's not gonna be like in Clash of Clans, but you can edit your base the same way. You have to edit your base the same way you currently do, but once you are happy with the layout, you can save it with a new button found on the HQ. So we're gonna be able to save different layout bases. I'm thinking maybe 3 to 4 different types of bases, and maybe it's just gonna be 2. Maybe you have a hammerman base and then a trophy base. Okay, so this next one is, this Matt guy basically said that he needs something in-game that the leader can plot out. Basically exactly what I said in the top 10 update videos. And Router SC Supercell, he said that we thought about it. We think that the no app making is an excellent addition, but I guess there's still ways to improve it. Definitely ways to improve it. One thing that we thought about was to add symbols that you can place in the operation and notes to explain what your symbols mean to your task force. So this is going to be pretty awesome. If you could have a flare symbol and you just put a flare symbol down on the notes, then that flare symbol, people know exactly where to place your flare or something like that. That would be pretty awesome, guys. But that's that one. Okay, so this is another big one. This is kind of what sparked the idea of this whole video. When is the new update? If everything goes planned, it's early next week. We intended to go live this week, but all didn't go to plan. This new update is gonna be so awesome. So all that's gonna be added in this update, not much. all that's going to be added is the base layout, the new base layout, and oh man, there was bug fixes, base new layout, and there was one more thing I can't quite remember. It's going to be back later in the video again, but next week I'm going to be doing an update video, and Jimmy probably will also do an update video also, so just stay tuned for that. Okay, so this next one is Clash of Clans official. This is the official Clash of Clans Reddit page. They asked, are you going to have a night mode? And it's basically, kind of like troll. But this is why I wanted to say this, because a lot of people request night mode, and this is why it's not. It might look cool, but so far we haven't found anything interesting, watertight gameplay around it. Also, it would require a lot of reworking on the graphical sys, so without a killer gameplay to go with it, it's just not justifiable workload, performance, and file size. So it's just not, Boom Beach, their team said that their whole file size is getting to the max of the peak of iPhones, that it if you add any more much more graphics to it, it won't load. So this would definitely, they would not be able to add this because the graphics would have to be a lot worse in order to have the performance up higher. Okay, so this next one is a pretty big deal. Any improvements on the submarine, it feels like you can't do anything about it unless you include it in the gameplay while attacking my opponent. So Bushy said, I'm not satisfied with how the submarine works. It just feels like too much of a separate minigame. I completely see how that is. We talked about cutting it in the future, but if we don't come up with any new cool rules or mechanics for it, there we go. So I don't feel like the submarine's a good idea. One thing I think they could do is boost the rewards. That would be pretty awesome, but as far as that goes, it doesn't fit into the whole Boom Beach gameplay, so I wouldn't be surprised if they completely just took out the submarine feature. Oh yes, so this is exactly what I didn't get before. I can't talk today. We are adding battle result sharing in the next update. Just gonna be like Clash of Clans. If you don't play Clash of Clans, basically you could, as soon as you do a battle, you could post it to the task force chat, and that allows your task force to view the battle, rate the battle, and stuff like that. So if you haven't played Boom Beach, co-leader role has been discussed and actually implemented. Won't be a next week update though. Still needs a bit more testing. That's another big thing. So next co-leader role is gonna be a thing. Probably not gonna be called co-leader though, as it's kind of like a Clash of Clans ripoff. Pictures and links and private messages not. There are better systems and apps for private messages for those who only see it. So if you want a private message guy, you have to go into a third-party app to do that. That's all on that note. Okay, and this is gonna be the last fun kind of thing. What is the next big thing you are planning to release? And the Boom Beach game replied with starfish. So, expect a new animal around the beach, a starfish. That's gonna be pretty awesome. Anyway, guys, if you liked the video, be sure to leave a like. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. This is going in the top 10 video, but it's not top 10 playlist, but it's not quite a top 10 official video I'm making, but it's still going in the playlist. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.